Maybe you're at work feeling like you're making no difference. Maybe you're at school feeling like you're not doing something valuable with your time, you're not learning anything. Maybe you are just scrolling your life away, like 90% of people are doing right now. Or maybe, just maybe, you're living somebody else's dream. And that is why you don't feel like you fit in, because you're just not where you're supposed to be. That might be the case. But here is the truth. If this video came on your feed, if you're still here, then I want you to know the truth. That God, He wants to upgrade you. He wants to put you on a higher level. He wants to shift your direction. And so today, I am going to show you guys how to go from consuming to creating. Go from not living your purpose to living the purpose God has for you. Hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Truth Podcast with your host, Sarah Carlson. I got a serious matter to pick up with you guys this week because honestly, it is time for you guys to stop consuming and start creating. I think this is a topic we need to start talking about because we are consumers. We are people who consume a lot. I feel like today's topic is gonna hit very deep for many of you. And so I want to start this episode with a very important question for you guys. Have you ever felt like you're not adding any value to this world? Like what you're doing is not important, it's not meaningful, and it's not valuable. It's not adding any value to this world. Like you're just stuck in this cycle of consuming food, consuming different things, like buying different things, consuming videos, video games, social media. You're just in this cycle of consuming 24/7. And you're not doing anything important with your life. If that sounds a bit like you, sounds a bit like your situation, then I believe that this is the episode for you. Because sure, you're consuming right now, but you're consuming something that might be changing your life, okay? So listen up. For I was in the exact same situation as you. I did not feel like I was putting any value to this world. I was in a time of my life when I was about 13, 14, when I just was depressed. I was depressed and I did not know what to do with my life. Now, at this time, if you have heard my testimony, which I really recommend that you guys watch if you want to get to know me on a deeper level, I have my testimony episode down in my description. In that episode, I was sharing with you what my life was before I started sharing the gospel online. Back then, I was creating a lot of content online. What kind of content exactly? Dancing content, singing content, acting content. That was literally what I was feeding people on social media. But I never felt fulfilled. I never felt like what I was doing was giving value to this world, was giving value to me and to the people around me. It didn't feel meaningful at all. And when I wasn't posting, the only thing I was doing was bed rotting. I was literally just doom scrolling for the rest of the day after posting and just doing nonsense. I never felt like anything of what I was doing was actually meaningful. I was doing nothing productive in my life. It came to a point where the only solution was for me to just go out and do something. So the first thing my mom came up with was go to the gym, work out, do something, because bed rotting was not a solution. And it took me some time to realize that. It took me a lot of time actually, because it wasn't before 2023 that I realized I need to do something. I gotta do something. I gotta stop this consuming behavior. And I needed to start producing something with meaning. So when I finally got that into my head and I stopped bed rotting, I stopped just consuming, I understood that I needed to produce. The moment I realized that I wasn't on the path God had for me, I started making a change and I started to create. Now, what I was creating Christian content. I was creating content based on the gospel. And though it wasn't the best quality, though I didn't get the most views, I still did it. At least I was doing something. And you know what? It grew. my account, my platform, it grew. Right now, I am at 150K followers on Instagram. And I did not start there, okay? I started from the bottom and I worked myself up. And after about a year, I started to see the fruits of my labor. I saw that my work, people were starting to support me, and I started to see the benefit of going down the path of God. But the results weren't even the most important thing. The fulfillment was. Even though it was a point in my life where I only reached like 500 people, maybe just 100, maybe just a couple, it still was fulfilling to me. It still felt like I was giving value to this world because I was. I was putting value to this world. I was changing people's hearts, people's minds, and I was solving a problem in them. I was feeling fulfillment out of what I was doing because God created me to create. As simple as that, God created me to create, and He created you to create as well. In Genesis 1 verse 27, it says that you were made in His image. You are made in God's image. And who is God? What is God? He is the ultimate creator. And so, of course, we were made to create. We weren't designed to consume. We were created to make, to produce, to be creative, and to build. And y'all, when I tell you, I promise you that whether you're creating something physical, digital, spiritual, whatever it is, it will give you more meaning and purpose than anything on this planet. And actually, just think about it. When we were kids, we always used to create. We always were there drawing, building Legos, building sandcastles, going out and playing and building something and creating something with our friends. You see, like our whole childhood was about building, producing, creating. We were being creative beings. It was the most fulfilling thing ever. Guys, I miss being a child because I felt like I was creative from top to toe. Okay, I could make anything in this world. I did not need anybody to tell me to do it. I just did it naturally. And I believe that was how it was for you too. We all did that as a child. And so actually that just proves my point that we were created to create. It's in our DNA. It's in our nature. But as we grow up, the world teaches us that we need to go from creating to consuming. And so we wonder why we're not fulfilled. We have been driven out of our purpose a long time ago. Since I started school, literally, I have just become less and less creative because I have just been taught to consume. This is the mindset that the system has put inside of us. It hurts to see. Have you guys noticed that? Have you guys noticed how we have been taught by the system to consume 24/7? I thought we were supposed to be creative human beings here. Hello? Am I missing something? And so that's the message I want to give you guys today. The moment you go from theory to practice, that is the moment you're going to succeed in life. You were created to create, and you have the ability to do so. It's in there somewhere, I promise you that. And there comes the big question. Where do we start? Where do you start when creating? Many people have asked me this. Many people ask me about purpose and about creating and about calling. And my answer is simple. And I will get to my answer soon. But I just want you guys to know that it took me some time to realize. Because at first, I did it all wrong. I thought that for me to be able to create, I needed to learn new skills before I started. I needed to learn this and I needed to learn that to be able to do this, to be able to do what I do now. And so I figured if I just gain a little knowledge, I will have it all set. If I just gain a little knowledge, I'm going to do this perfectly. But here comes the problem. I was still consuming. I was still consuming and I didn't realize it. I was there consuming and I was like, you know what? I'm doing something productive. No, I wasn't. I wasn't creating something. I was just storing up a lot of information without any output. I had so much information, but nowhere to put it, nowhere to use it. So instead of consuming more, Because I gotta hold you on that. I just gotta warn you before you do the same mistake as me. Instead of consuming more, start creating out of what you are consuming now. Ask yourself, what kind of content do you watch? What kind of books do you read? What kind of videos and topics are interesting you? Or what kind of hobbies are you doing right now? Like, what is making you busy every single day that you don't want to stop doing? All of this content that you love, that's the blueprint. That's the problem solved. You already have the knowledge. You don't need more knowledge. So now do something with it. Do something with the knowledge you already have. I didn't realize that. I already knew about social media. I already knew how to use it after doing all of the singing, dancing, and acting content. I already had all of the knowledge I needed. I didn't need to learn more. I just needed to start. That was all I needed to do. I just wasted so much time. Please don't make the same mistake as me. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm sharing this with you guys. And hold on. This ain't just about digital products. I'm not telling you to create any digital. It can also be physical. It is endless of opportunities. Create art, products, services, whatever inspires you. Take it and make something out of it. And Proverbs 14:23 says, all hard work, okay? Not just digital work, not just spiritual work, not just physical work. All hard work brings a profit, but mere talk leads to poverty. When you just say, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. One day, oh, you're going to do this. The talking is not going to give you anything. The talking, instead of the doing, is going to make you fail. Stop talking. Stop thinking about it all. And start producing today. Create something for the others out there. Jesus, he constantly talked about serving others. And one of the greatest ways we can serve others is by creating your content, your work, your art. It can inspire, it can teach, it can help people. And when you start to create, you will realize something. That the moment you're moving, the steps are going to show. All of a sudden, your purpose will slowly but surely start to reveal itself. You got to take one step for God to take the 99 for you. And I feel like that is what people struggle with. People struggle a lot with the fact that they cannot see everything. They cannot see the whole picture. I couldn't see the whole picture of what I'm doing right now either. From the start, I was like, okay, but what am I doing? Sure, I want to do missionary. That's like where I'm going, but how do I get there? I have to start somewhere. And honestly, the steps to that dream of mine are getting clearer and clearer for every single day that passes by. I just needed to take one step. And it opened a ton of doors. And so I want to remind you guys of one verse, Ephesians 2 verse 10. For we are God's handiwork, created in Christ Jesus to do good works, which God prepared in advance for us. God had already planned for you to do all of this. God had already prepared you to do good works, to dive into your purpose. He already has it all prepared. The steps, they are there. They're just not visible for your naked eye. But you are God's handiwork. You are made in God's image, which means you got to create. And the moment you do, the moment you create the right thing, because there's a lot of things you can create, but when you create the right thing, when you figure out what to create, and you're creating the thing that God has put into your heart, it will slowly start to make sense. And so I have a challenge for all of you guys who are listening. All of you, I have one specific challenge for you. Start creating something today. Today, okay? Do not procrastinate, because procrastinating is your worst enemy. Make that video, write that blog post, create Start that business that you have been thinking about. Share that message that has been on your heart for so long. You just gotta create. You just gotta share and put out something valuable into this world. Don't procrastinate this one. Start now. You're doing yourself a favor through that. For the moment you start creating, that is the moment God's purpose is getting clearer for you. But it may not be so easy for you. You may not feel like it is that easy to start. Maybe you're still on the starting line. Maybe you don't know what interests you. Maybe you don't know where to find your purpose or how to start. Maybe you're just not able to move an inch yet because you're just so unsure and you're confused. And so I got something for you. I got something especially for you. And I shared this on my previous episode. I told you guys at the end of the episode that I had something big to share with you guys on my next episode. And here it is. If you don't know what to create, if you don't know what your purpose is or how to find it, I have created the perfect journal and guide for you who are struggling with exactly this, with finding your purpose and finding what to create. You will find personal reflections, spiritual challenges, growth trackers, weekly planners, vision boards, powerful testimonies, gratitude prompts, like everything is inside of this journal. It has everything you need from top to toe. This journal will help you get a clearer vision on where to start. And this is truly a journal and guide I wish I had when I was starting. Because I would have saved so much time. I would have saved so much time, I'm telling you. And that is exactly why I created this journal. So you can save your time as well. So you can get this journal on sarahcarlson.com or on etsy.com. Everything is linked in my bio. So if you need it, you can just go there. And mark my words. This isn't just any kind of journaling guide. This is the key to your future. And I truly recommend journaling for every single soul out there. No matter the age, no matter the gender, you can get so much great from journaling. Because journaling, it changed my life. And it will truly change your life from every angle. So you guys go and check it out. It's going to be quite life-changing for many of you guys. Because so many of you have been asking me on Instagram, on YouTube, on TikTok, Sarah, how do I find my purpose? How do I know my calling? Though I've made so many videos about it, I feel like you guys are still missing something that will truly make you act. And so this journal, this guide, it is all in one. The link is right down in my description. I hope this episode really changed your mind and it really helped you realize that you gotta stop consuming. The world has messed with your mind too much. It's time. Create. Do what God called you to do. And let me know, you guys, in the comments if you are ready to start creating. And also let me know what kind of topics you want to see further on the Truth Podcast. Now, I love you guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit the bell button so you get notified every single time I post a new episode. And don't forget, stay in the truth. God bless you guys, and I'll see you next Wednesday.